Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
And much, much more rolling in, trickling in. Tell you what, tease is the word. You know, which way do you go? Skill set, get it done in the ditch, get yourself a corner. I mean, everyone's got an opinion here. It's not a perfect science, and that in itself, I think, is one of the biggest uncertainties that we all have. What is the style? What is the brand now of this organization? How much is set on workout warriors? How much is set on potential overproduction? You look at Shamar Stewart. I mean, what a freakish workout. How can you pass up on that guy? Well, how about 1.5 sacks last year at Texas A&M? He, went through this. There's always new math. You know, the new math, and I thought I struggled with it, 10 plus years ago when my daughters would bring home homework. It was like, are you kidding me? I have no idea how to do today's math. But now it's the RAS metric, the relative athletic score metric. And Stewart's like the greatest prospect in the history of mankind. He had 1.5 sacks last year. So we don't know. There are GMs, there are organizations that are going to put so much stock into these workouts. Others trust film. Others trust what they have done Saturday after Saturday after Saturday, year after year. I kind of get the sense that that is where James Gladstone comes from. The Les Snead style of, the combine is important, but we will trust the game film that much more. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you there. Obviously, the former general manager here in town was all about that. As a matter of fact, Mason Graham comes in with 32-inch arms? Trent Baalke would cross him off the list right now. He doesn't have 33-plus inches. He's not a candidate. By the way, I'm going to get into that a little bit later on. I'm souring quite a bit on Mason Graham. 296 pounds? I mean, you give me a pizza and a couple of Pat's Blue Ribbons, I'll enter 296 pounds. The guy's going to get moved around the line of scrimmage. I want a Jalen Carter. I want a Vita Vea. I want a Mark Stroud. I want a John Henderson. I want a big, enormous mountain at defensive tackle, not an undersized defensive tackle. And I get it. He is a fantastic football player. Again, the tape's not going to lie. The tape is going to show you that Mason Graham is a difference maker. But 296 pounds, and I get it. He's not going to play at 296. I'm sure when the regular season comes around, you can get him to, maybe even back to his 320 that he was listed at Michigan. But if you're going to use the 5th pick in the draft, the former the former Brain Trust did too much of trying to be the smartest people in the NFL. Let's draft the guy here and play him there. Let's draft the guy here and make him do this. Just stop it, okay? I mean, do we still know exactly what Trayvon Walker has done in his 3 years? Yeah, he's had success. He's had 10.5 sacks the last couple of seasons, but the guy was drafted number 1. A lot of that was because of his arm length, remember? Longer arms than Aiden Hutchinson. But they asked him to do things he never did before at Georgia, okay? And I don't need to go through it for you, right? But Anton Harrison, 23 starts, 22 at left tackle. We're smart enough around here. Wait till Phil Rauscher gets a hold of him. We'll make him the greatest right tackle outside of Leon Searcy. Well, he regressed significantly in year 2. There's just too much of that. Instead of just drafting a guy and playing him at that position, and I would imagine that if I took a deep dive, that this probably happens around the NFL. But my point is, feel free to draft a guy who plays a position and then keep him at that position as you get into pro football. I'm beginning to have some reservations about Mason Graham. I see the comparison to Braden Fisk. Now, Braden Fisk was a second-round guy. Braden Fisk was productive. I think it was Central Michigan before he went to Florida State. And, Braden Fisk certainly did play with some outstanding defensive players at Florida State. Obviously, the same here for Mason Graham. Was part of a national championship team a year ago. There could be as many as 10 Michigan players selected in this year's draft. And the entire Jaguars organization, you would think, would be flying to Ann Arbor. I want to say their pro day is coming up on March 21st. But, yes, I have so much and so many positive things to say about what has been taking place in Indianapolis. But to me, the Mason Graham thing is disappointing. And if you're going to lose all that weight, why didn't you work out? The only thing he did was bench. And 24 reps is strong. But 24 reps is not difference maker, in my opinion. If you're going to go from 320 to 296 for the combine, why not run? Why not do the 40? Why not do the short shuttle? Why not do the 3-cone drill? You're going to wait another, now what? He tested yesterday, so it'll end up being 23 days. You're going to wait 23 more days, and you're going to do it in the comfort at your home track in Ann Arbor. I get all of that, but are you going to remain at 296 pounds? That's another part of this that I think a lot of people don't always figure in. Certainly football teams do. But if Mason Graham shows up at 296, we know on game day he's not going to be that. He's not going to play at 296. He didn't play at 296 at Michigan. He's not going to play at 296 once you get into the NFL. So why be that way now? And on top of that, if you are going to lose that amount of weight, why wouldn't you run? I'm dumbfounded by this. And again, I'm sure all of the information and everything else comes from, the agents that are out there who just consistently say, don't work out, don't work out, don't work out. I've never understood it. Even if you do work out and you don't necessarily do all that well, you still have another opportunity, right, to do that during your home date. During your home workout. And we saw, I think it was, 8 players yesterday defensively who elected not to work out during Thursday's activity there at the Combine. So, Mason Graham, your thoughts there, 641-1010. That is the best way to join us on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. The Shamar Stewart situation is probably, doesn't affect this football team unless they were to trade down. You get to Abdul Carter, and before the injury came up, it's like, wow, if he's there at 5, you have to take him. And we talked about CBS Sports yesterday. They had a mock draft that had Abdul Carter there. I was really surprised to see him. Yeah, we've seen Travis Hunter dropping a few. We've seen Mason Graham all over the place in mock drafts. Go to Jacksonville at number 5. But the Abdul Carter one surprised me coming out of Penn State. It's almost as if, even though Jacksonville, and if you were to look at position groups, right, if you were to just go through them all and say, what is the strongest position group on this football team? What is it, Dylan? What's the strongest position group on this football team?
For the Jags, definitely
Yes,
edge.
Edge. With no depth. I mean, your first two are really good, right? But there's no depth. There hasn't been any depth. It was a regular question to Trent Baalke. Hey, Trent, how about a veteran presence coming off the edge when these guys need a blow, okay? And you saw what happened last year. I mean, Ryan Nielsen was rotating like for crying out loud. He had the purple people eaters. He had gangrene. He had Pittsburgh steel curtain defense. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it. The problem is that the guys who were replacing Walker and Allen gave the Jaguars defense nothing. So anyway, my point is, I happen to believe if you were to look at what position groups are best, you have to put quarterback in there based on what he's making, right? And again, even though it's 4 years in for Trevor Lawrence, it's still far more potential than it has been production. That's fair. He's 22-38 as a starter. He's missed 7 games the last 2 years. The guy gets injured all the time. Not all his fault, but these are the facts. Sometimes people get angry with the facts. He is potential over production. I think the running back room is really good. Although everything I read, it's like Jacksonville's going to use a third-round pick. They're going to get themselves another back. Again, we don't know what Liam Cohen thinks of this backfield. This could be it for Travis Etienne. I happen to think Etienne, if you were to just look at the entire team and you go to offense, from what I've seen out of the way that Liam Cohen ran that offense last year, especially the horizontal part of this offense, the screen game part of this offense, not necessarily the vertical offense. I mean, vertically speaking, they were less than Jacksonville, believe it or not. And we understand that Godwin was out. We understand that Evans missed, 3 or 4 weeks. But still, if you go back and you look at the numbers, Jacksonville actually threw the ball downfield more than Tampa Bay. Now, they didn't get any production there outside of Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, with those Gabe Davis numbers, like 28%, 10-plus yards or more. Oh, my God, man. I just feel for some of you youngsters out there, some of you men out there, if you're in a marriage like Jacksonville is with Gabe Davis, if you're beginning your Friday night and you're heading home to your honey right now and you're locked into a marriage the way that Duval is with Gabe Davis, brother, I feel for you. Just run to the local bar, knock back some Pat's Blue Ribbons, do whatever it is that you have to do, because I don't have words for you outside of this. Men get screwed in our state when we get divorced. So hang in there. I'm pulling for you. I really am. But vertical stuff doesn't work. Travis Etienne, in my opinion, has the opportunity to really flourish more than anyone else. But I would say running backs. Quarterbacks, running backs, offensive line, hell no. I'm not going to waste airtime on the offensive line. It's awful. Fix it. Wide receivers? No. You got one wide receiver. One. The BTK killer, right? Bind, torture, kill. I don't want to reference Brian Thomas Jr. into that category. That would be absolutely appalling. But I don't know why I can't get the initials right. He's really good. Everyone else is a wonder. Christian Kirk is a wonder. Gabe Davis is a mistake. Devin Duvernay is a return guy. Parker Washington is a poor man's Christian Kirk. I think Parker Washington, if you can give him some confidence, could end up being a good football player. I really believe that. All right. Defensively, I guess the edge. Where else are you going to go? You're not going to go safety. You're not going to go corner. Linebacker, you've got some name recognition, but you don't have the results. So if you look at it that way, this football team, no matter where they go with the draft, no matter what position group they go, they should become a better team. But this all started with my thoughts on Shamar Stewart. Do you really go there? Do you go to him, or do you go to Abdul Carter if, in fact, he was to drop, considering that may be the biggest strength on the Jaguars roster? It's just something else to consider. And it's what makes this so fascinating. It's what makes it so very interesting. All right, really good news today with T-Mac. All right, McMillan, his comments on Brian Thomas Jr., the fact that he has met with the Jaguars. I said it on Monday. He is the guy I would select. I know there are reservations, We don't know what his 40 time is. Can he give you a 4.48, 4.49? Can he give you a 4.5? Is that good enough? Okay. He's a big body. I've seen comparisons to Mike Evans. He's not as big as Evans. He has to run. If he drops some 4.59, 4.6, 4, no, stay away. You need to have a fast wide receiver. And there are also questions about this young man and his route running. I think that is fixable if he has great work ethic. But again, if you're using pick 5 in the draft, you shouldn't have to be teaching and teaching and teaching. These simple fundamentals of football should already have been implanted. All right? That's just the way that I look at it. But I'm excited about this. I'm just anticipating what he's going to do as far as his 40 time. So let's head out to Indianapolis. Let's crank things out and get it started with our good friend John Shipley, who will join us from Indy, covering the Jaguars beat, obviously, for Sports Illustrated. All right, opening comments tonight and every night brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Dr. John Hunt has been added to their stable. He is an ophthalmologist. Serious injuries such as cataract surgery could be petrifying. And more people are now faced with this problem. You want comfort in that. You want to be able to have a sit down. You want to be able to ask questions. You want to be able to get all the answers that you deserve from the operating doctor, right? You don't want to be shoved down the hall just so they can bring in another patient so they can make more money and then put you with a surgery counselor. Hell no. You want to talk to the individuals who are going to be there surgery-wise. Dr. Catherine Shmunez, Dr. Neil Shmunez did a surgery in my right eye 8.5 years ago. There's never been a setback. My eyes are perfect. As a matter of fact, I was noticing today I have another appointment coming up in May. And we'll go through all of that needs to be done. And maybe my prescription will change. Maybe there's something else, but I know I'm in good hands. I want you to be in a similar situation. Go to Shmunez Vision online. Also look at them on Instagram at Shmunez Vision. You can get all of the testimonials right there. All right, love Fridays around here. Absolutely do. No place I'd rather be than Jacksonville. Tonight, we dive deeper into the Combine. Coming up next, John Shipley. He rolls in. Let's go to Indy, day 5 at the Combine.
He's in a shotgun now.
Follow every play, interview, and press conference
When we're balanced, it's hard for the defenses to adjust.
on the home of the Jaguars, 1010XL.
Frank Frangie here. It's new year, new truck time at Nimnik Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% and 0 APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere in Jacksonville. Shop 24/7 online at nimnikbuickgmc.com. Value your trade and customize your payment options in seconds. Nimnik Buick GMC. GMC, we are professional grade.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. When it's smooth as silk, Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Need a fast casual option that's healthy, fresh, and delicious? Choose the Great Greek Mediterranean Grill. Gyros, salads, hummus, and more made completely fresh right as you order. Off 210 and St. John's Parkway. The Great Greek Mediterranean Grill.
The Jacksonville Icemen are back at home this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Savannah Ghost Pirates and Greenville Swamp Rabbits at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena for Military Appreciation Weekend. Presented by CSX and the Nimnik family of dealerships. Join as we honor our military with special jerseys and pregame festivities. Friday and Saturday's game time 7, Sunday at 3. You and your family can take a shot on goal on the ice after the game. Tickets at Ticketmaster, JacksIceman.com, or call 602-PUCK. Iceman Hockey is hashtag Frozen Frenzy.
Find Florida Gators basketball on 1010XL. Brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Florida Gators. And by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulating our Scholar Athlete of the Week, Amelia Tucker, senior varsity track and field and soccer player at Wolfson High. Amelia is involved with student government and is a member of the National Honor Society. Congratulations, Amelia.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror? Fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
Okay, for this Cannons of Jacksonville commercial, we need an idea to really come out with a bang.
Like having a guy shot out of a cannon.
Nah, too messy. In fact, Cannons is known for all your towing needs.
So like my car won't start.
No. Towing products. Cannons does custom welding fabrication and installation of trailer hitches, goosenecks, tow bars, truck racks.
So you might say Cannons is my best shot at finding that inventory in stock?
Boom. You said it.
Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control, a local family-owned business that's been chosen as the exclusive pest control provider for the brand new state-of-the-art Miller Electric Performance Center. As a Kingfish customer myself, I know their effectiveness in keeping spiders, roaches, bugs, and termites out. When I trust them for my family and the Jags trust them for their business, then you can too. For the best service in town, call my friends at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and you got really cool things going on right now because there's new product coming in the showroom. Tell everybody about the Aprilia Demo Days.
March 11th and 12th. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to have the Aprilia Demo Truck. We caught them on the way back from Daytona Bike Week. They're going to be there. Come ready to ride.
Tell everybody real quick about Aprilia.
They are a bad Italian motorcycle. Nobody's ever ridden an Italian anything and said that wasn't fun.
Check it out. Cycles of Jacksonville. All the details on their Facebook page.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
The First Coast Games is an annual team-building challenge to introduce fun activities into the workplace and focus on your employees' health and wellness goals. These goals include some friendly competition, of course, including pickleball, cornhole, volleyball, flag football, and other team sports. The games will begin in March. Register your company and teams at fcymca.org.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Mama always said you'd be there. Chosen one.
All right, Hodges Mazda at the Avenues. They do present the NFL Combine and their coverage right here on 92.5 FM and 1010XL. It's brought to you by Window World of Northeast Florida. Let's bring in our good buddy. He is John Shipley. And, of course, Ship does an outstanding job covering the Jaguars beat on Jaguars on SI. John Shipley, how are you?
I'm doing great, my friend. Been a while since I heard the Sopranos intro. Dylan got me hooked up.
Dylan did it. I just wrapped it up. It took me about 2 months to do it. But with the GF, I went through, episode 1 all the way through the finale there inside the diner some 20-some-odd years later. And it's amazing how much I had forgotten originally watching that series.
No, absolutely. I've seen it probably close to 10 times now. It's getting ready for number 11.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, John, what are the Jaguars going to do? Number 5. I made this comment yesterday. If you were to bet on it, it would be stay there, probably minus 800. plus 550 to move. I get the sense right now that this organization would love to trade out of number 5. What do you believe?
Oh, no, I absolutely think they would love to trade out number 5. James Gladstone has said this numerous times now that they have, the most picks over the next 2 years, but getting more picks, and, I've said this on your show for years now, that trading down is almost never a bad idea because the more picks you have, the more darts that you have to throw, and the more flexible and aggressive you can be in other aspects of the offseason. That's more picks that you can potentially trade for veteran playmakers at the deadline. It's more picks that you can use to facilitate rebuilding the rest of the roster. So I think that they would love to trade down. The thing is, you need to find a partner who's willing to, dance with you, somebody who's willing to,
Yeah.
You guys remember in the 2023 draft how Trent Baalke said they were trying to trade up like crazy, but nobody wanted to trade down.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find somebody who's willing to. They had the perfect storm last year because Dallas Turner obviously was falling down the board and he was a very coveted player. So they need to really get lucky and be ensured that somebody is falling who is, a team really wants. Now, could that be a quarterback? That's probably the most realistic outcome. Potentially one of these quarterback needy teams, maybe the New York Jets are afraid that the Raiders would take a quarterback, etc. That is what I think they would obviously love to happen in an ideal scenario.
Yeah, and they were aided with that today with the announcement coming that Matthew Stafford is restructured in L.A., so maybe that does present another opportunity for a team to want to move up, and therefore Jacksonville could perhaps move down and acquire more picks. Now, you wrote about this, and I loved it. We all know that in the career of Trent Baalke, the inches, arm inch was so important for him. Mason Graham comes in now with a 32-inch as far as his arms. You wrote about that with the new coming general manager, James Gladstone. You don't think this is that big of a deal to him compared to the way it was with Baalke?
Oh, no, I wouldn't even go as far to say I don't think it's as big of a deal to Gladstone. I know it isn't as big of a deal to Gladstone. Gladstone got asked about exactly arm length, those kind of traits that he looks for the other day at the NFL Scouting Combine here at Lucas Oil Stadium. And Gladstone, very coy, said, go ahead and look at the past couple of drafts that we have the Rams, and you'll find your answer. Well, I looked at it. Braden Fisk got 3 percentile arm length. He practically had T-Rex arms. Kirby Turner, well below the Trent Baalke arm length threshold. Byron Young, well below the Trent Baalke arm length threshold. And these are players who have been fantastic for the Rams. Trent Baalke, I've been doing this story for years. The guys that he picks, he drafted 20 defensive linemen, whether it's defensive tackles or edge rushers in his career, and 16 had at least 33-inch arms. The only 4 others, 2 were 7th-round picks. 1 didn't even make it to the practice squad a day in his life. 1 was a 5th-rounder who was a healthy scratch his entire rookie year, and another was a 4th-rounder in Jay Tufele, who obviously only lasted a year. Yeah. Trent Baalke placed a major emphasis on this, but it is very clear that those days are gone. I mean, people forget the Rams didn't just pick Braden Fisk. They made a massive trade up to get him. Mm-hmm. Arm length is not going to eliminate prospects from Jacksonville anymore. If Trent Baalke was still the general manager, I genuinely believe the odds of Mason Graham being the pick would be greatly decreased. I no longer think that's the case.
Yeah, I would think he would be off the list because of the arms. Our guest is John Shipley. He, of course, covers the Jaguars. Jaguars on SI, which you can get on Twitter. All right, what are your thoughts? You had an opportunity to interview him, take a good look at him. Obviously, he's lost about 25 pounds. What's your opinion on Mason Graham?
No, I thought he had a really good head on his shoulders. I was impressed. In the interview, he said that he had met with the Jaguars. And I think most importantly, he talked about the relationship that he had with Kevin Wilkins at Michigan. Kevin Wilkins worked more so with the defensive ends, but he was still there in the defensive line room. Mason Graham said that, he ran into him in Indy and they chopped it up for 20 minutes. Wilkins now the assistant linebackers coach in Jacksonville. I think that's a big part of this equation. The Jaguars have a coach in Wilkins who knows Graham, his skill set, what he can do, who he is off the field. I think that's a big advantage for the Jaguars, and I'd be very surprised if Wilkins wasn't really going to bat for Graham after seeing what he did last year in Wink Martindale's defense.
Yeah, interesting. Something else that I am, anticipating here is I kind of get the feeling that Gladstone has so much respect for Les Snead that the game film on Saturday is worth so much more to him than the freak workouts. Look at a guy like Shamar Stewart and what he was able to do yesterday. You know, this is potential overproduction. The guy had a couple of sacks last year. How do you, and we're going to learn this on the fly, if you will, but do you think that that's Gladstone's way of going about business?
Well, I think that they're still going to place an emphasis on athletes. Like, you know, Fisk was obviously missing the arm length, but he tested like a complete freak of nature at the combine last year.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that they're still going to place an emphasis on getting athletes in the building. Nobody wants to build a slower and smaller team, but I do think that they will also, you know, put more importance on guys who are pro ready, guys who have college production, because, I mean, we both know that was not a big thing for the Jaguars in recent drafts. They've swung a ton on guys who just, frankly, didn't really produce in college, and they were betting on the trade. It's worked out in a few cases. I know Trayvon Walker, you know, namely, but there have been other cases where they simply whiffed. So I do think production will be more valued under James Gladstone.
Yeah. All right, final thought from John Shipley joining us live from Indianapolis, Day 5 at the Combine, the National Football League Combine. Can't wait to see what T-Mac does. It has been reported that he has met with the Jaguars, talked about how cool it would be to be out there with Brian Thomas Jr. There are those who wonder, what will he run, and does he, you know, give you the type of route running that the 5th overall pick or a high first-round pick, you know, would in fact, you know, qualify for? What are your thoughts here overall on T-Mac?
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of his game. I've said for years that what Trevor Lawrence can really thrive with is a receiver who plays above the rim. Trevor Lawrence loves giving contested catch guys, you know, chances to make plays downfield. I mean, really the only time Laquan Treadwell ever really produced in the NFL was when Trevor was throwing him the ball, because he was a guy who could win in contested situations, and Trevor trusted him. You look at Trevor with T. Higgins, Trevor with Justin Ross, he thrives with those kind of receivers.
Yeah.
My only hang-up is that looking at the Jaguars' needs across the board, I'm not sure if taking a receiver who, as talented as he is, and this isn't a knock on him, at the end of the day, he would still be your number 2 receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So I think with the needs the Jaguars have, obviously with Tony Boselli now more or less helping run the show, I think it's clear that they're going to place an emphasis on the trenches. I just don't know if this is a franchise that would want the luxury of taking a fair or unfair number 2 receiver for their roster as high as number 5 overall.
Yeah, that's fair. Very interesting point. All right, what else is going on over there? Give us the latest vibe. What's happening in Indy?
Yeah, no, I've been talking to a lot of people, you know, about the Jaguars, about the staff Liam Cohen's hired, people's impressions, and most importantly about what people think the Jaguars will do in free agency and at number 5 overall. I talked to one scout this week who said the overwhelming feeling around the league is that Mason Graham's absolute floor is number 5. A lot of people think he will go number 4 to the Patriots, but that's where a lot of people in the league think the Jaguars are at least leaning at number 5 right now.
Yeah. What do you think they're going to do while we have you here? Are they going to spend the way they did last year? I mean, they re-signed so many of their players, but they really overspent for guys who were coming off injuries. I've heard the other way, that maybe they sit back a little bit, even though they have plenty of cash to play with.
I'll use the Stephen Jones expression. I think they will be aggressively selective. I think that if they find a player who they truly think is a fit, like, say, potentially a Javon Holland at safety, I don't think they'll shy away from adding a guy like that. I think they could still look to address some blue-chip talents. I think if this was still the Trent Baalke regime, I don't think Shaq Collin would be willing to open up a checkbook. I think he'd say, hey, enough is enough. I've said we have to stop being addicted to spending. But now that there's a new regime, I do think if they see the right fit, that they will be willing to pay a little bit. I mean, especially with the cap going up, they're in a good position to be aggressive if they want to.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying all along. I see them getting the safety, maybe seeing them get a third, you know, defensive end of a veteran out there. I just don't know if they're going to overspend to go get a right guard or a wide receiver or something like that. We'll see. It's it's only 11 days away, the legal tampering period beginning on March 10th. John Shipley, make sure you read everything from John, and you can get that, of course. He does an outstanding job covering the Jaguars on Sports Illustrated live from the Combine in Indy. Hey, John, always a lot of fun. Thank you.
Hey, Rick, thank you, my friend. I appreciate it, and good talking to you.
All right, there he goes. John Shipley, good stuff there. All right, so a difference in opinion. It's a very smart point of view, and it has been discussed on this program. You're going to spend the 5th overall pick for a guy who is defined as a number 2 wide receiver. Well, would it be cool to have just 2 great wide receivers? I mean, John Stallworth and Lynn Swann, right? You look at Cincinnati right now. You look at, obviously, Minnesota right now. There's room for 2 really good wide receivers. And every time we get into this conversation, which this time of year is going to be almost daily, most of you say no. Go defense, 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 and defense. And I understand why you think that way. The Mason Graham situation is really interesting. Someone has said to me, check out Jordan Carter. He only weighs, Jordan Davis. No, wait, Davis is the big guy. Davis weighs about 350 pounds out of Georgia. I'm talking about Carter. Jordan Carter is listed, Jalen Carter is listed at only 314 pounds. You've got to be kidding me. Maybe it's, I don't know. I'm not trying to cover my backside here, but I'm one of those that I feel I'm a pretty good measurer of body types. I've been doing this for 30, 40 years, okay? Jalen Carter, to me, looks way bigger.
I got a better one for you.
Way bigger than Mason Graham. What do you got?
Chris Jones, guess what his weight is? He's listed as?
I'm going to say Chris Jones is listed. You know what? The way you worded that question, you fooled me here. What is he? 300 pounds?
298 on Google.
Okay.
And he's way bigger than that. And we all know it.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me see who sent it to me. I always want to credit them. It's from the 8443. He says, check it out. He's 314. And I'm like, I'm looking at this at 314. I thought only ladies lied about their weight. I mean, for crying out loud, it's happening now on NFL rosters. I mean, you got to be kidding me. There's no way he's 314. Okay? But my point is this. He looks different. And, I heard Pete Prisco say it. I heard others say it as well yesterday. Mason Graham looks undersized. All right? They may take him at 5. And they may ask him to put on weight, and he may end up being a dominant football player. But I do. I wish he did one of 2 things. If he showed up at 296, I wish he tested. Okay? I wish he went out and tested. And if not, I wish he weighed in at 320 or 320 some odd pounds. And he didn't do that either. So kind of stuck in the middle here. Involved with the very talented defensive tackle coming out of Michigan. All right, we got much more to do with you tonight till 8 o'clock. You want to respond to anything along those lines, you can. The best way to do it is on our text line, which is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. The number is 641-1010. And again, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Catch Gators basketball on 1010XL.
2 top 12 teams battle for high seeds. Florida, Texas A&M. Tomorrow night at 8 on 1010XL.
Hey, John, have you heard about the incredible offers at Randy Marion Cadillac?
They've got rates as low as 3.9% for 36 and 48 months on the stunning 2024 Escalade.
That's right. Experience luxury like never before. Whether it's the exquisite interior or the advanced technology, every drive feels like a royal experience.
Visit Randy Marion Cadillac today on Southside Boulevard in Jacksonville.
And don't forget, Randy Marion is the king of price. Drive and indulge in luxury at Randy Marion Cadillac.
Plus tax tag title 999 admin fee with resist all and approved credit.
An ACL tear can be a devastating injury with prolonged pain and rehabilitation. Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari. I'm a sports medicine orthopedic surgeon who grew up right here in Jacksonville and then went on to train with the world-renowned Dr. James Andrews. At Bari Orthopedics, we use the most current techniques to get you back in the field with less pain and quicker rehabilitation. We treat all types of sports injuries with the newest techniques available. Please call us for consultation or visit BariOrthopedics.com.
Find out more at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com.
Tired of a plain and boring backyard? Stonecore on Phillips Highway is your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and driveways. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
This is Daytona, the awe-inspiring spectacle of Supercross, and the most challenging course to witness the air-catching, adrenaline-pumping, heart-pounding action unlike any other race in Florida. Daytona Supercross. The biggest names battle it out under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Don't miss it. The gate drops Saturday, March 1st. Secure your tickets and trackside access today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 28, 1967, Philadelphia 76ers center Wilt Chamberlain's streak of 35 consecutive field goals ended in a win over the Cincinnati Royals.
Duck Duck Rooter is currently hiring in all departments. We want great plumbers, CDL drivers, drain field installers, and lift station technicians. If you have experience in your trade and love to deliver a super high-quality level of customer service, you have found the right company. You will enjoy our benefits package that includes excellent weekly pay, paid holidays, health insurance, and working for the best in the industry. Apply at DuckDuckRooter.com. That's DuckDuckRooter.com. And click on the careers page. Duck Duck Rooter is an equal opportunity employer.
The housing market is as busy as ever on the First Coast. And if you've moved in or moved on, make sure you have a team of trained electricians ready to help. American Electrical can make sure you're up to date electrically and maximize your living experience. Smart home automation services, home theater systems, outdoor and dock lighting, and backup generators. American Electrical can do it all. A team you can trust with highly trained technicians ensuring you have the best living experience. American-Electrical.com, a leader on the First Coast and powered by professionalism.
Hey folks, Nick here for Zero Res, and if you still have a little bit of time for the hottest price of the year on carpet cleaning, maybe you had people over for the game or you're doing early spring cleaning, but in February, only $147 for 3 rooms, plus the 4th room is free. That's right, schedule now and you'll get 3 rooms for $147, and the 4th room is free. Yeah, the 4th room is on me. Hottest price of the year. Zero Res. Spell it forward, spell it backwards. Zero Res. It's the right way to clean.
C-E-R-O-R-E-C. Zero Res.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about the fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
The Beach Boys, Endless Summer Gold. Saturday, March 8th at St. Augustine Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at AXS.com.
1010 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Out where the river broke, the bloodwood and the desert oak, holding wrecks and boiling diesels, steaming 45 degrees. The time has come.
Julia Gulia, Jacksonville's own, covering Midnight Oil. I usually don't give free plugs, but since I played golf today with Andy Jones of Julia Gulia, they're at Iggy's tonight. And that is where I'll be with some buddies coming up around 8:30. So they'll play from 7 to 11 and enjoyed a round of golf with them. It's my favorite local band, Julia Gulia. Good stuff. And they get after it. Had a fun round today over at Cimarron. With the Woodcock and Aaron Beasley as well. Hey, we're putting this together. It's going to be on the eve of the Masters. It's going to be on Wednesday, April 9th. And it's just simply skip work. Come on out and play golf. I'm going to have a great wage for you. And we're going to have some drink specials. We'll do our show out there after. From 6 to 8. I'm going to have some former Jaguar players out there. So if you're interested, just get to me right now on the text line. 641-1010. Say you want in. I'm going to jot down your number. And then we're going to, I'm going to coordinate this, which there's a chance it could be a disaster. Okay? Because I'm always honest about everything. But I just know this audience. And you're so good at everything that I think this is going to be a blast. I played it today. Cimarron is in wonderful shape. It really is. I just credit everything they've done, the effort to rebuild that golf course, which had a bad reputation for a number of years. And a very, very enjoyable round earlier today over at Cimarron, the Cimarron Golf Club on 210. You been out to Cimarron lately? I know you and I have played a few rounds of golf. We've played other tracks. I don't think you and I have been to Cimarron yet.
No, I played there over the summer. I've played there about every summer. I might have played there twice last year. It's a good course, tough course. If you miss a little right, you're probably going to hit the water.
First 5 holes, you're wet.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, the layout has never been a problem over there. It's just been being able to maintain the golf course. But with new ownership, my buddy Rick Shoemaker, they put a tremendous amount of effort into it and financial resources into it. And their brand new outside deck is spectacular, overlooking the 18th hole, depending on what time of year. They have a fire pit out there, but an outside bar. And it's just, I love it. It's one of my favorite places. Right there, obviously, they are represented by the 210 Mafia. Okay. Let's get after this today. I love the idea, T-Mac. I totally respect what John Shipley said. And he's right. It's tough to argue that point when you look at other massive needs on this football team. But it doesn't change my mind. I've said it all along. You have to get a number 2 wide receiver, and you have to get yourself a right guard. Those are the 2 musts for me. That is where it begins. Okay? And I know it's about Mason Graham, and it's about this safety that just had a 43-inch vertical. Was it Nick Amenwari is how you say his name?
That's how I'll go with.
Yeah, until we know differently, until he's the next Ed Reed, until he's the next Ronnie Lott. He's being compared to Derwin James. Guy just had put up a 43-inch vertical. Actually did that earlier today. It's a replay I'm watching right now on NFL Network. 11.6 broad jump. I mean, they were just absolutely going crazy over this guy. But he's a safety. You're not going to draft a safety at number 5. Again, this is the way that this feels for Jacksonville. It's about moving down. Can they find someone to actually move up. And I do think, as I pointed out with Shipley, I do think the Matthew Stafford news today can only help in that particular category. I mean, I woke up this morning and Bovada sent me something that Aaron Rodgers was the overwhelming favorite to be the next quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. And then all of a sudden it comes down not too much longer after that Stafford is going to, restructure his deal and there's going to be a new contract with him in L.A. And then we find out that Cam Ward is not throwing. We knew earlier, it was even reported last week, right, that Shedeur Sanders is not going to throw. So the two highest-ranked quarterbacks aren't even going to throw in Indianapolis. They're going to wait to their pro day. You need those two to want to move up. And all along what I've thought was this. If you have two quarterbacks go in the top 4, that's perfect for Jacksonville because that means they will get the 3rd overall position player at number 5. Well, what about this theory instead? What if only one quarterback goes in the top 4? Jacksonville sits at 5. There's a team below you that says, that's it. We need Ward or we need Sanders. Maybe it's the Raiders. I don't know. And they move up. Then all of a sudden, Jacksonville has the capital to say, all right, you want this quarterback. You want to move up to number 5. You must give us in return this, and this. It's a very encouraging set of circumstances. Again, we don't know how these things are going to play out. It really feels like this year I've seen more players that has been announced that they're able to go out and look for a trade. I even saw it with Rayshon Jenkins yesterday. That Rayshon Jenkins has received permission through his agency to go out and look for a trade. It just feels like that is what so many teams are trying to do, is unload some salaries, get another team to eat some of what they currently have within their salary structure, including dead cap money, which, depending on the circumstances, some of that money, can be moved. That not necessarily. For the most part, if you trade, you're going to eat most of the dead cap money. So it's what I'm talking about is the future salary structure. But it just seems like more and more teams are in a process where that is what they want to do this year. And it almost feels like many of these clubs are in a position where there are bad contracts. And I absolutely think that is part of what is going on here in Jacksonville. If you were to just look at the roster and eliminate dead money, would you keep Christian Kirk? Christian Kirk's got a price tag of $24 million. Again, if you didn't have a dead money figure of 13.6, there's no way you keep him. Evan Ingram, right? 19.4. Dead cap money of 13.5. Would you keep him? No, you wouldn't. Trevor, you are. Josh Hines-Allen, you are. Trayvon Walker, you are. Foye Oluokun, you are. Walker Little, you are. Devon Hamilton, 10.7 is his cap figure. Okay, he's got a dead cap money right now of $15 million. You cannot cut Devon Hamilton. Now, that changes like so many of these post June 1st. For Devon Hamilton, it drops to $6.5 million. But I think that this is what teams are looking at right now, is that they find themselves, if you look at the top 10 guys salary-wise, top 12 guys salary-wise, that there's 3 to 4 to 5, 30, 40, 50% that you'd like to get from with, no longer being responsible for them. These contracts really end up hitting you at the very end if you don't restructure, just letting them play out. I thought Bulky did a good job with a lot of these contracts. If you go back to, years ago, the recent set of circumstances are just terrible, though. The guys he signed a year ago. I think they'd get rid of them all if they could. You trying to tell me they wouldn't get rid of Eric Armstead and Gabe Davis if they didn't have that dead cap money? Yeah. I don't think there's any question that they would. All right, so thoughts on that and anything within the combine. This is your final hour of the week. This is your last opportunity. There's so much to choose from, right? No shortage. And again, the benefit for you as a Jaguar fan, you have the most picks in the draft, and you got a ton of money. You got more than $38 million right now, and that's only going to grow as they do say goodbye to a couple of these players. So the options are unlimited. Let's get ready for our second hour. 641-1010, best way to join us on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Making spring a Jacksonville thing.
What a week.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates.
Enhanced by
Magnify Medical, Surgical, and Cosmetic Dermatology, San Jose Collision, and Doorbell Farms Produce Delivery.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Get a healthy start in 2025. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to encourage you to get healthy and stay healthy this year. They have a dedicated team who are committed to providing quality care. The goal is to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Visit duval.floridahealth.gov to learn more about their health programs and services. That's duval.floridahealth.gov.
Don't miss the Players' Championship, March 11th through 16th at TPC Sawgrass. This can't-miss event features a variety of activities for every fan to enjoy, from delicious bites to the Sawgrass Splash. There are endless fan enhancements that will make for a memorable experience. Plus, watch the top PGA Tour players, including back-to-back champion Scottie Scheffler, take on the iconic stadium course featuring the famous Island Green. Tickets available at theplayers.com.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Youth sports at the YMCA's focus on teamwork, discipline, and building confidence. Our experienced coaches can create a positive and supportive environment where your kids can grow, stay active, and develop a love for sports. Sports like basketball, volleyball, swimming, gymnastics, and even elite skills training. Join the fun and register. Give your kids a chance to be a part of something special. Visit fcymca.org to learn all about youth sports at the Y.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is JJ with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com.
When it comes to towing products, your safety is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines? no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
February is Cancer Prevention Month, and Ackerman Cancer Center will help you take charge of your well-being. Their new location at World Golf Village off I-95 now provides screenings for prostate, bladder, and colorectal cancers. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror? Fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at Dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Oh, it's the weekend! I wish I was in Alabama. Give me some of that country. Give it to me. I only drink beer in a can.
Play a banjo.
Got myself a truck. I do have all my teeth, so, and I brush them regularly. Thank you to Carson Dental. Oh, I'm just kidding. I love all you people. You kidding me? I'm one of you. I'm one of yours. I'm no longer a Yankee. I'm a damn Yankee. I stayed. I said goodbye to Boston in the rearview mirror. I was 18 years of age. I said, see ya. That's it. I'm one of you. I'm going to die here. They'll fall into that wooden box. Hopefully sooner, hopefully later, as opposed to sooner. You know, I'm going to start the 180 next week. The weight loss 180. What's it called?
Awaken 180.
Thank you. Hackers had massive success. My approach is different. I want to lose about 15 pounds. I want to lose maybe 17, 18 pounds. And the biggest problem that I have, and I'll let you know, I've got a lot of problems, okay? But my biggest problem, it doesn't matter how much I eat, morning, afternoon, when I get home at 8:30, I am freaking starving, okay? And if you eat at 8:30, you're not going to consistently lose weight. So with the Awaken 180, and I've done all the research, I've talked to all the people. I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it would work. And I'm going to be, as I always am, I'm going to be completely honest with you about it. If I can do this and eat during the day and not be hungry at night, oh my God, how cool would that be? And then just to think down 15, 17 pounds, whatever it may be, to get out on the golf course, to have that off and you know, renewed enthusiasm and energy. So I'm going to start in on it. And what Hacker has done is just absolutely spectacular. It really is. I'm so happy for him. He's a totally changed man. And, you know, I'm not looking for something like that, but I am, you know, if I end up losing like 20, 25 pounds, I don't know. I mean, that'd be pretty cool in itself. So I'll let you know. I'm obviously going to be honest. If it works, it works. I don't know how to do it any other way without telling you exactly how I do feel. What do you got coming up this weekend? What's going on with you, Dylan? You got any time away from here, or what's up?
Yeah, I'm golfing on Sunday afternoon.
All right.
Saturday, tomorrow, I'm just do a little pressure washing job, make a little extra side money.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. That's all I got planned for time being.
Yeah, it's a great time of year. I mean, the temperature's been absolutely fantastic. It is, without question, the best time of the year to get outside, play some golf, or do things along those lines. Hey, I just mentioned it. More and more people are asking me, what's up? When's the tournament? If you want to play, it's April 9th over at Cimarron. And send me your info, because I'm going to put this together. You can't call over there and do it. All right, I'm 100% responsible for this. I am the Jay Monahan of this. Okay, I am the Dean Beeman. I am putting together the first annual call in sick to work, meet me at Cimarron for 18 holes, drink specials, and a show after event.
Are you going to be bought out by somebody bigger eventually?
I hope so. Why not? Capitalism, I'm all for it. This is how I finally become an entrepreneur, by doing it this way. But we're going to have a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about. I mean, Frangie, the first thing he asked, would you shoot today? I was like, I don't know. I don't keep score. Woody kept the scorecard. I enjoy going out and playing golf. You know, you got a 20-foot putt, I'll give it to you. Kidding. You've played. You know how we play golf with my buddies. I mean, it's nothing but I don't want to waste any more time on this because I want to get back to the draft. But just let me tell you, okay? This is a great golf town. There's a lot of really good golfers in town. I'm jealous. But on the flip side, there's nothing worse than golf snobbery. If you're a golf snob, stop. Okay? If you're a golf snob, you're a jackass. You are. There's nothing worse. It's entitlement. It's rich. It's like you've never done a solid day's honest work. Enjoy golf. Love golf. If people are slow, it's a public course. You're going to have to deal with it. If people are jerkies and don't repair their divots or put sand on divots or repair their ball marks, kindly tell them. You know? Treat these wonderful places with respect. But if you're a golf snob, no one cares. You're not good enough to actually be on the tour and make money. If you're a golf snob, stick it. You are awful. You really, I mean, you're like the same people who don't tip at restaurants. Golf snobs. You're not that good. I mean, you people, you know who you are, too. It's never too late to change. Golf snobbery. I mean, come on. That is so embarrassing if you're one of those. 3144. Damn. I didn't know our boy Graham weighed 296 pounds with 32-inch arms. That changes things. Aaron Donald was 6'1", 284, 32.6 arms. The tape don't lie. Graham will definitely be a top 5 pick. It'll be interesting to see how Gladstone operates. Aaron Donald's the best ever, okay, at his size. That's unfair to him. But what were we talking about yesterday with Tyler Hunter, Jerry Rice on offense, Deion Sanders on defense?
Yeah.
It's not going to work out this way, people. We're talking about the greatest to ever play the game. Okay, Tyler Hunter's not going to be Deion Sanders. He's not going to be Jerry Rice. Mason Graham's not going to be Aaron Donald. I mean, these are the best to ever do it. We've got to be a little bit more realistic here. I'm getting more and more on Mason Graham that he's reminding people of Taven Bryan. That is petrifying. Boy, I hope that's not the case. Whether he's here, the only way I would hope that's the case if he goes in the AFC South. Not named the Jacksonville Jaguars. 1480, excuse me. If Mason Graham reminds me, wait, yeah, there we go. Taven Bryan once again. Ballou, didn't they say during Frangie show McMillan isn't going to run, or did I mishear them? Also, the pick is obvious. We have to draft Travis Hunter or play him on the defensive side. Is that true? I've seen rumors on that. I have not seen that officially reported.
Yeah, they say he's not going to run at the combine or his pro day.
Well, then he's not worthy of the 5th pick.
Yeah, that shows that you're hiding something, that you're probably close to a 4.6 guy, and that'll hurt your draft stock.
Okay, then, and I am more of the Saturday game tape than I am the workout warrior. But I said this about T-Mac way before the combine. He needs to run. He needs to be able to show that he has separation speed. And there's also the question mark about his route running. Okay? If he just does not run, and I also understand the other point of view that there is speed and there's game speed. Right? I mean, shouldn't we make the point that if you're going to run a 40, you should put him in a football uniform? See how they run in pads? I mean, the last time I checked, everything is about what they do in a 40. They're out there in gym shorts and a tank top.
And they're doing it at a three-point stance.
Right.
Something they'll never do.
Right. I mean, there's speed. We always hear there's in shape and there's football shape. Well, there's speed and there's game speed. Football game speed. What do you do with pads on? What do you do with a helmet on? And that's why the perfect science of all this can be petrifying. But to me, the exception to the rule is T-Mac. This guy needed to show that he can run because it's been a question mark. And I know he said he'd love to come here. He'd love to play with Brian Thomas Jr. There's just no way that you can draft him that high if he's not going to run. So, that is scary. I tell you something else that is coming is Quinn Ewers. He's met with the Jaguars. That's something that's not going to get a lot of play. What do you do with the backup quarterback? But, this organization has to make several changes. Mac Jones is a free agent. C.J. Beathard is a free agent. Do you want to pay Mac Jones $8, $9, $10, $11 million a year? Do you want to pay Beathard, what was he making, $6, $7 million a year? Do you want to invest that in a backup quarterback, or do you spend your money on protecting Trevor Lawrence, hope he gets healthy, and get Quinn Ewers, I don't know, maybe one of your third-round picks, and get him on your rookie salary structure, right? I mean, I've always been one of those who believes that if you're going to a backup quarterback, you're not going to win. You may win a game in September, October, and November, but when you have a backup quarterback, you're not going to win games in January. And I know that Doug Peterson and Nick Foles were the exception to the rule, 7 or 8 years ago. I get it. There's always one here, one there. But for the most part, when you go to a backup quarterback, your season is over. So, the exception to me would be if you're Philadelphia right now, if you're Baltimore right now, if you're Buffalo right now, if you're a team that is that close, if you're a team that is consistently there, then maybe you can patch things together for a period of time with a backup quarterback. Not this organization. I'm saving cash with backup QBs. I love the idea of going with a journeyman. I love the idea of going with a rookie. We saw what happened last year. I can't tell you how many times last year I said this. This organization believes they can win games if Trevor gets hurt with Mac Jones. If I said that once, I said that 40 times last year. And look what happened. Okay? So, and I know coaches think differently. I know general managers think differently. But for what it's worth, that is the way that I think. 1681, last one before the break. Truth teller, how important is it that teams consider the likelihood of drafting in the top 5 again soon for their choice of drafting a quarterback or not? That's really a very good question. You don't want to consistently be in that boat. I mean, do you have, I can't use the word savvy. Can you be honest enough in the war room and sit there with your pro player personnel director, your head of college football scouting, your head coach, your offensive, your defensive coordinator, and all your scouts and say, all right, here's the deal. We select 5 this year, but realistically, we're nowhere close. We're going to be in the top 5 again next year. How does the Arch Manning, everyone else is going to be available as a quarterback next year? How does that class look? To all of a sudden, in my opinion, this class looks really, really, really weak. I know I said this the other day, but I'll say it again. If just for a second, if there was no Trevor, and Jacksonville was at 5 right now, and you thought your future was based on Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, how would you feel? I'd feel awful. I don't think either one of the two are going to make it. I just don't. Now, we see Jaden Daniels. We see guys come out. C.J. Stroud did it 2 years ago. Bo Nix had a great year. We do see it. But honestly, do you feel that way right now with Cam Ward? Do you feel that way right now do you feel that way with any one of these two, Dylan?
No, and I was going to say another one would be Jackson Dart. I think he's going to rise up the board. Yeah, I don't feel confident in any of them, and especially if you're going to a bad team, having to overcome even more than, the average team. Nah, I don't feel confident in that.
With this 1681, where this question really would have come into play, if you go throughout history here, the Mike Mularkey year. Mike Mularkey was the worst roster I've ever seen this football team have. It wasn't Mike Mularkey's fault. He's a good coach. And then that became year one of Gus Bradley. If you were able to recognize that, and we don't need to go back, I'm just giving it to you as a, hypothetical. Not even a hypothetical. It was true. 30 years of this organization, the worst talent that I've ever seen was the year that Mike Mularkey had this football team, and then the year that Gus took over next. If this question came up then, I think it'd be a very interesting point. I don't see where that would really come into play because there is so much pressure in this league to win now. And with there being a salary cap, you shouldn't be too good for too long, and you shouldn't be too bad for too long. And typically the teams that are good year after year after year, what do they have in common? A great quarterback and a great coach. And there's consistency. Everything else, they fall off. And why do you think there's 8 divisions, 4 teams per? And every single year we talk about at least one division has a team that finished in last place the year before who ends up winning the division the very next year. Okay? That's why this league is built the way that it is. That's why when you look at point spreads, they're typically 3 points or less. I mean, the NFL is a league that's based on a play here, a play there, a mistake here, a mistake there, a coaching blunder here, a coaching brilliant decision there. This ain't college football. It's the NFL. But anyway, I think it's a great question, 1681. Appreciate you getting in. Let's grab some more from you. You guys are on a roll tonight. And you're acting like it's Friday afternoon. It's 70 degrees in Jacksonville, for crying out loud. Where else would you rather be? For us, it's right here on your home of the Jags.
This is 1010XL. I had a dream to bring Jacksonville Sports Radio true. Awesome. 1010XL, Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Yo, E.T. here. And are you looking for some good food, outdoors fun, and plenty to do? My old stomping grounds in Clay County is the place to be. Check out Clay's diverse local restaurants. They have barbecue, seafood, and Latin restaurants that hit the spot. Paddle alongside the scenic waterways. Cast a line or hit the trail. And the events. There's always something to do for you and the fam. Check out exploreclay.com to plan your next adventure. And when you do, make sure you hashtag ExploreClay on social.
Call the deck guys if you want a brand new deck pavers or more. Call 904-813-2474.
TheDeckGuysJacks.com.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
This is Daytona, the awe-inspiring spectacle of Supercross, and the most challenging course to witness the air-catching, adrenaline-pumping, heart-pounding action unlike any other race in Florida. Daytona Supercross. The biggest names battle it out under the lights at the World Center of Racing. Don't miss it. The gate drops Saturday, March 1st. Secure your tickets and trackside access today at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
What is the busiest airport in the world?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta International Airport is the busiest airport in the world, serving over 100 million passengers.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On February 28, 1967, Philadelphia 76ers center Wilt Chamberlain's streak of 35 consecutive field goals ended in a win over the Cincinnati Royals.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
Okay, sports fans, Hicken here. Let's talk skin. I and Beaches Dermatology are reminding you all to wear your sunscreen. Spring is here, and that means more time outside. Grabbing the clubs for your tea time? Bring the screen. Heading out on the boat? Bring the screen. Headed to the beach? Definitely bring the sunscreen. All in all, make sure sunscreen is included in your outdoor activities. If you have any concerns now, give Beaches Dermatology a call. I've been seeing them for years, and my skin thanks me for it. Call today online at beachesdermatology.com.
Pacifico is brewed for those who let go of the things that don't matter and hold on to the ones that do. That's living life. Anchors up.
Pacifico, found in Baja, imported by surfers. Ask for a Pacifico when you're ready to live life anchors up.
Pacifico is a crisp golden lager, brewed for those who know. It's what's behind a label that matters.
The First Tee Tour Card is back for 2025 and better than ever, with access to over 15 of North Florida's best courses and new this year, local participating businesses. This card is your ticket to saving hundreds. First Tee North Florida is a local nonprofit who build character in youth participants through the game of golf. This annual fundraiser enables this amazing organization the ability to build game changers. Grab your tour card for just $99 at tourcard.org for a list of participating partners, benefits, and restrictions.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Are you embarrassed by your ugly, cracked concrete driveway? Stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway for all your outdoor living needs. Let them show you how a durable paver driveway can enhance your home. Visit stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
17 says those playoff Lenny was the epitome of football speed. Yeah. I mean, he was a big back who could fly. I wish the best for Leonard Fournette. But I just think it's a sad ending. What did he end up playing? 6 years?
He won the Super Bowl in Tampa. Let me see what he did after.
They cut him here after having – he's had the most – I got to say that since Maurice Jones-Drew, Leonard Fournette in the year that he had more than 1,700 yards in the line of scrimmage, that has to be the most that a Jaguar player has had. It's got to be top 5 all time.
So he played for the Bucs from 2020 to 2022, and then the Bills in 23.
Yeah, and he got like no carries in Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Was he a practice squad guy? I mean, he just had so much ability. He didn't seem to care. He was aloof. And it's sad now because I don't want to take it to some places that I don't need to, especially on a Friday. This guy had a chance to have a career that would have been much longer than that, and he had a chance to make millions of dollars and really live a fortunate life And he just didn't. He was just so incredibly immature. He was a good guy to cover. But there were just things about him that you'd be like, what? I mean, again, in my opinion, Leonard Fournette, you walk in the locker room after the game, you didn't know if Jacksonville won 30-0 or they lost 30-0. Say what you want about Jalen Ramsey, but Jalen Ramsey was pissed off when this team lost. He even cried on the bench. Yannick Ngakoue was pissed. Marcel Darius. I mean, there were certain guys who cared. Frankly, last year's team didn't care. They didn't. They accepted losing. They were comfortable with losing. I know that that's my shtick. I know that that's my angle. It's not only it's my angle, it's my agenda. I'll admit to it. But it's why I feel bad for you as sports fans today. These players don't care about it nearly as much as you do. And Leonard Fournette is a prime example of that.
I knew he was good in college. I didn't know he almost ran for 2,000 yards his sophomore year. 1,953 yards rushing. That is insane. Yeah. 11 games.
Yeah. Oh, he was
unstoppable.
He was on fire at LSU. He was.
The Ole Miss game, the Auburn game, where he would just run through SEC defenders as if they were like in high school.
Do you have his numbers from 2018? What's the year you went more than 1,700 yards in the line of scrimmage? You have those numbers in front of you?
Give me a second.
As you look up those numbers, let's remember this.
I got it right here.
These are phenomenal numbers. All right, read the numbers.
When he was in college, or
that was
with the Jags
last year in Jacksonville.
His last year in Jacksonville, 2019, he ran for 1,152 yards, 4.5 yards per carry.
Okay,
and that includes an 81-yard touchdown run.
And he caught like 70 balls.
76 balls.
For how many yards?
522.
Okay, he had more than 1,700 yards. Jacksonville cut him.
3 touchdowns.
Cut him. They didn't get anything for him. He was such a bad guy, such a bad teammate. They knew that they were going to lose and lose and lose. If I remember correctly, they won on opening day that year, then they lost the rest of their games with Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell, right? That was such a bad football team that they knew that having Leonard Fournette around would only make things worse. They couldn't get a bag of footballs for a guy who had more than 1,700 yards from the line of scrimmage. If that's not an indictment on who you are, I don't know what is. They thought it was a benefit to take by far their most productive player and just say, go away. We don't, as a matter of fact, go away. We don't want anything for you. The great line in Moneyball is when Dave Justice is really showing his ass. And Billy Bean's like, well, then why are you paying me $6.5 million? He's like, we're not paying you $6.5 million. We're paying you like $1 million. The Yankees are paying you $5.5 million not to play for them. They're paying you $5.5 million for you to go away.
That's what they think about you.
Mm-hmm.
That was the line that hurt.
It's disappointing. I really liked Fournette. He was just in his own world. Doug Marrone's, it's a stupid rule, but it's a rule. You had to, when I traveled with the team on the team plane, you had to wear a suit and tie. It's a business approach. Lenny was like, screw that. I'm not going to wear a tie. Fine me. Never wore a tie once. Fine me. What type of a teammate is that? Do you think everyone else wants to put on a tie? No. The team rule is a tie. Put on a tie. Everyone's putting on a tie. Okay? Lenny's like, screw it. Find my ass. Well, that's a bad teammate. Crop wouldn't happen when Coughlin was there, but this is that whole turn of you got to massage the players. It's a players' league. You don't want to wear a tie? Doesn't have to wear a tie. Doug Marrone says wear a tie. Hey, Doug, I'm not wearing a tie. I'll fine you. Cool. I'll pay that fine. There you go. So stupid. 78-63. Ballou, to be fair, Trevor couldn't win either, honestly. Yada, yada, he isn't good enough to carry the team. Dilfer comes to mind. All right, Dilfer 1-1. Jeff Hostel got a 1-1. You can go back to Earl Morale winning one when Bob Greasy got hurt. Yeah, sure. There have been examples where backup quarterbacks have won in the NFL. I rarely go a show without pointing out that Trevor's got to pick up his performance. I did it, I think, earlier tonight. If not, it was yesterday. I do it all the time. I mean, I'm not going to just hang out and carry the water. I'm not going to do it. I never have. I never will. Trevor needs to get better. But case in point to the 78-63 who just got in with this. Why do you think I am so proactive on a right guard and another wide receiver? For this very reason. I mean, you better find out what you have. And as much as I love conversations with you notice how I'm not comparing styles to anyone else, but my radio show style has always been like we're sitting in a bar room and having a conversation. You know, whether it's 100,000 people listening or it's 10 people listening, right? It's always been based on what I think the Jaguar fan wants to hear, okay? You got to find out, does this guy have it or not? The last thing I want to do is to be talking to you in a year where they got Mason Graham in the first round. They got a safety in the second round. They got a corner in the third round. They never really addressed right guard. They used one of their fourth-round picks. They never really addressed wide receiver. They hung on to Kirk. They tried to make it work with Gabe Davis. And then when in a year, which becomes year 5 of Trevor that's gone, that's wasted, because depending on how you look at it, the first 4 years of Trevor Lawrence's career have been completely wasted. You got nothing. You got a playoff win, down 27-0. You got a playoff win. All right, you had jubilation then. You can't take that away. Those were some exciting memories. But if we sit here in a year and all of a sudden it's 5 years and you still don't know, that is your worst concern. Don't you want to know? One way or another, don't you want to know? Don't you want an outstanding wide receiver to be added? Don't you want a right guard who eats nails? Don't you want a tough, nasty right guard? And you want great pass protection? So now you can comfortably say, look at the improvement of Trevor Lawrence. That's what he needed. He needed some confidence. He needed to be protected. He needed a solid running game. The Jaguars' rushing attack has been awful. Just pathetic. You give him all of this, and he starts to improve, and then in a year we're like, well, look at what he did. Look at the strides that this offense made. And the coaching staff is so young, they gel, they get better, and everything is like, it's happening. It's happening. Okay, it's been happening in Baltimore. It's been happening in Buffalo. It's been happening in Philadelphia, where they went to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. You saw things move forward. We thought it would move forward a year ago in Houston. It did not. But if it's defense, and you don't do anything with the offense, and then the same problems are you can't run, you can't pass protect, you're injured, you're dropping balls, you don't know if Trevor's it, that's what you don't want. That's why my approach is so different on this. I want to know. There's too much unknown. The teams that I want to see the Jaguars win. I don't know if Trevor's the guy. Look at my freaking alma mater. Mike Norvell's going into year 6, and there's not a Florida State fan alive who really knows. Can he coach? How can you not know? You're starting your 6th year. You don't know. This guy didn't play prevent defense against Jacksonville State. This guy from his own 32 in the second quarter is going for it against Notre Dame on fourth down. You don't know if he can coach. And you're going into year 6. Positive energy, Ballou. It's your alma mater. Positive thinking. It's going to work for... Okay, fine. I don't know if he can coach. Do you want to spend another offseason asking yourself, is Trevor the guy? Find out. Your resources, your cash, your draft picks, offense. Screw the defense. Offense. Find out if he is the quarterback or not.
For many, it's the happiest place on earth.
At 17 in Players Championship.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling.
And Beaver Toyota.
On 1010XL.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Did you know your pup could take 30,000 to 60,000 steps a day at Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard? That's a whole lot of tail wagging fun with their best furry friends. At Dogtopia, they turn playtime into exercise, learning, and socialization in their off-leash, open play environment. Dogs build confidence, reduce anxiety, and stay happy and healthy, all while having the time of their lives. Visit Dogtopia of Jacksonville Beach Boulevard today.
I'm Chris Campione. In a world of big box law firms with satellite offices, there's something special about having a local legal team that cares about you and your community. We're not just lawyers, we're your neighbors. We understand the unique challenges facing the Jacksonville community because we live here too. At Campione Law, Campione Cares isn't just a tagline, it's our commitment to you. Campione Law, your trusted lawyers after an accident. CampioneLaw.com.
Shut up, Campione. Campione Law.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
Get to know positions and players. The 1010XL Ultimate Draft Guide is brought to you by Blue Haven Pools, the #1 pool builder in Jacksonville. Follow rankings and roundtables as the draft takes shape. Go to 1010XL.com/2025 draft guide to get yours.
Hon, who'd you call to fix our plumbing issue?
I forget their name. They said they do plumbing work.
Then what's that big thing they're driving?
Looks like a grease truck.
Grease truck?
To pump the grease traps.
You wouldn't call a landscaper to floor your home, so why call a grease trap company for a plumbing issue? Duck Rooter is your certified plumbing contractor, specializing in all things plumbing. Get Jacksonville's real plumbing pros. Visit duckrooter.com, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Tired of seeing the signs of aging in the mirror? Fine lines, sun damage, redness? They don't have to be part of your future. I'm Dr. Mark Capel, a board-certified dermatologist, and I can help you look and feel your best. without invasive surgery or painful treatments. Imagine rejuvenating your skin in a relaxing, comfortable environment with minimal to no downtime. Smooth out fine lines, even skin tone, and restore that youthful glow. Find out how to look and feel your best at dermagnify.com. Dermagnify.com.
When you're experiencing sudden, unexpected dental pain, the last thing you want to hear is that your dentist can't see you until next week. That's why I'm so glad I found Harbor Dental Care. Whenever I call, they always find a way to see me within 24 hours, and they can usually fix whatever's wrong the same day. Plus, they have locations throughout Jacksonville, so no matter what side of town I'm on, I can always count on the same great care. If you want to find a dentist who believes in treating people right, learn more at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Yo, it's your boy E to the T here, and I know that getting into an accident is stressful, but getting the proper care doesn't have to be. That's why I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. Even if you're at fault, your insurance covers you. And remember, you have the right to choose your own doctor. Even a minor accident can cause whiplash for years if it goes untreated. So don't wait. Call the auto accident experts at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Your recovery starts today.
Staying Alive, One Night of the Bee Gees comes to Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts March 6th. A tribute like you've never seen before. Staying Alive features the songs and sights of a full Bee Gees playlist, performed live. Experience Night Fever, More Than a Woman, How Deep Is Your Love, and more live on stage. Staying Alive, One Night of the Bee Gees, March 6th at Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets at fscjartistseries.org.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Day 5 at the Combine, we visited with John Shipley, the very latest on the Jaguars. Very active, meeting with a lot of top prospects. Unfortunately, many of which are not working out. We do know they have, if not already, if they haven't met, they will, with Travis Hunter, Mason Graham, Abdul Carter, among others, Shamar Stewart, Quinn Ewers, Dorian Strong, and many more. T-Mac, the wide receiver out of Arizona, who's not going to run. I think that'll hurt him a little bit. Still believe this organization would love to trade out from number 5. They possibly got good news today with Matthew Stafford and reports that they're putting together an extension there in L.A. That means a team may want to move up and get with Jacksonville at number 5 to get one of these two quarterbacks. None of the two throwing. All right, Cam Ward's not going to throw. Shedeur Sanders is not going to throw. See, Isaiah Bond said he thinks he can break the 4.21 40 that was run a year ago by his former teammate, Xavier Worthy. So, I mean, I understand bragging, but bragging about breaking a 4.21, he thinks he can run a 4.1. Told you I hopped on the AI the other day. I was looking up Mason Graham, and they had him running a 3.5 40.
3.95 or something like that. That was funny. AI hasn't caught up to, they're not fully developed yet.
That was good stuff. Let me take a peek at this real quick before I get back to, wanted to see, I think Jake Knapp with a 70 today. Again, the Florida swing, obviously now officially underway. This is the PGA National Resort and Spa. Jake Knapp, 13 under par after 59 yesterday, 70 today. Oh, Matty Pavon, 64 today, minus 12. 4 golfers at 11 under, including the former Seminole, Daniel Berger. Others at minus 10. Pretty decent leaderboard. Zach Johnson, minus 10. Ricky Fowler, minus 10. So a lot of top-name golfers getting after it. Arnold's next week. Then it's the Players. Just incredible. Final day of February. Getting ready to bring in the Players Championship. Yada, yada, yeah, yes. Best defense tackle all the time. Smallish, powerful dude like Graham. He's got a wrestling background. Okay. I'll give you that. This guy told me he lost 87 pounds walking. Damn. Really? Wasn't hungry. Guy gave me great golf stories here. 3805. I love great golf stories. I just can't read them on air. More asking about Cimarron. Yeah, get in on the Cimarron. If you want to, just send me your information. I'll let you know. Here's a guy asking how much it's going to cost. 60. I don't know how much it's going to cost yet. I'm going to get us a good rate. I wouldn't be doing it if not. Coughlin was a horrible pick by Fournette was a horrible pick by Tom Coughlin from the 0148. Well, Tom Coughlin in Jacksonville in New York was all about a balanced offensive attack and being able to run the football. Do you realize that in the great years in 96 and 99, in those playoff years, that Mark Brunell never threw for more than 20 touchdowns in one season? They were a run football team that also had balance when it came to passing. And, he had big backs in New York. I think we all remember Tiki Barber, but he had big backs in New York. Tom Coughlin wanted a big back. Nate Means, Jimmy Stewart, James Stewart, Fred Taylor. He wanted a big one. And that's the old school football, even when he was the wide receivers coach. You go back to when Bill Parcells won those Super Bowls with guys like Otis Anderson and Joe Morris. Oh, Joe Morris certainly wasn't a tall man, but he was a very physical running back. Yeah, that got away from him. I don't think there's any question about it, that if he could do it all over again, there's no way that Tom Coughlin, would have turned around and used that pick for a running back. 2806. Damn it, Buckley playing off Horace Copeland. LOL. Hey, I love T-Buck, but that play alone, he should not have had his number retired. Okay. I don't care if you picked off Elvis Gerback or he stepped in front of Desmond Howard and you took it back in the big house in 1991. You got to be serious here. Game of the century, game on the line. He's on his heels on fourth down where you have to make a play. That's I don't, we're too damn forgiving. It's like on social media, everyone going crazy. Oh, Snoop Minnis, Snoop, we love Snoop. I'm like, screw that, Snoop. You flunked out of school. You cost them a national championship against Oklahoma. You were selfish. Oh, we love Snoop. Snoop against Clemson, 100-yard touchdown. Okay. Well, what a great memory that is. How about him costing them a national title? Him and Mark Richt. But I think differently. The Rain Man, what's up? Still hasn't told me about the CT. Still don't know. Graham played at 315 pounds during the regular season, says AG. Okay. I think he's small, whether he's at 315 or 296. His body type looks totally different to me than Jalen Carter. And you're telling me Jalen Carter weighs 314 pounds. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. What's this guy saying? I don't want to say. The YouTube's blowing up, though. Appreciate it. Duval TV, among others. I'm trying to check YouTube a little bit more. Certainly than I used to. People sending me their emails and stuff. Just stay on me. Final thought here before we bring in Hacker when it comes to the tournament. I'm going to mention it several times. Just send me your information, your phone number. That's all I need to take it down, and I will contact you. And we'll put this together, and it's going to be, I think, a pretty cool deal when it's all said and done. Again, we're looking to do that coming up on April 9th. That'll be a Wednesday, and we'll do that over at Cimarron. We'll have an afternoon tea time. We'll do our show there after the fact, and I'll have some drink specials for you and indoor, outdoor. We'll have a good time. You meet some former Jaguars. I've already gotten a commitment from Aaron Beasley. Going to get a couple of more as well that'll be out there for it. So it'll be great because not only will it be on the eve of the Masters, but at that particular point, we'll be like 2.5 weeks away from the NFL draft.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. Find the coolest cats in town at coolcatsjacks.com.
I think one of the most disappointing things that anyone can ever say in our position is that there's nothing going on. Okay? If you can't find something to talk about, then you probably shouldn't do this. But I want to tell you something. January, February, March, and April in 2025 have been and will remain jam-packed.
It's absolutely incredible, the fact that tomorrow is March, and we haven't slowed down with Jaguar talk. Never mind the fact you got March Madness on the horizon, you got the players on the horizon, you got free agency on the horizon. It has been a wild 8 weeks. Baseball as well. That's exactly right. You know, I was thinking of you, Prosser. I mean, we got so many diehard baseball fans on this radio station. I live and die with every Orlando Magic game, all right? And they're terrible, and they're going to lose probably 45 games this year, and it sucks. But you guys, a good season, you lose 70, and I don't know how you do it. No. I would get so pissed if I was a diehard baseball fan with 162 games. I don't know how you guys do it.
Yeah, you know, I think I watched the Celtics, I think, win on Monday. They get blown out on Tuesday to Detroit, and it is a little bit different, 82 games, but you're doubling that when you get
unreal.
to baseball.
Unreal.
I mean, you play so many games in Major League Baseball. I think we know, for the most part, in the NBA, when you line up who you think is going to win a game. Where in baseball, on any given night, you can be an enormous favorite, catch a hot pitcher, have a slow night with the bats, you're going to lose.
Red Sox have been rebuilding. Are they still rebuilding?
I don't know if they have enough arms. I think their rotation is going to be better this year than it's been in years past. But for them to spend the amount of money they did on Bregman and now play him at second base, Yankees still the beast of that division. But I love the fact that Soto is now on the other side of New York.
And look, Tampa Bay, it's going to be interesting. It sucks what happened to the Trop, but now we get Steinbrenner Field, right, for the Tampa Bay Rays. That'll be an odd situation. And the Athletics are playing at a minor league facility in Sacramento, right? Yeah. So you got 2 American League teams playing in essentially minor league ballparks. That's a wild thing this year.
I haven't even talked about it yet. I'll get to it at some point, but ESPN's given up on them.
I saw that this is like their last year, right?
I thought the biggest mistake the NHL ever made was 25, 30 years ago, whenever it was, when Gary Bettman said, we don't need you, ESPN. We're gone. There's too many casual sports fans who get home after a long day's work, put the kids to bed, do whatever. They sit down the lazy boy, and they go to ESPN. And when ESPN had hockey on, they'd watch it. But when you got to go looking for it, USA Network or whatever it is, that is a totally different deal. I think this is a major mistake by baseball to get off ESPN.
NASCAR had the same thing. When NASCAR left ESPN, it was the same exact thing. I totally agree. And we'll get used to it. Like the SEC on ABC still was weird, like midway through the college football season, but I guess we're kind of used to it now. You're going to see a lot of changes. Like the NBA is going back to NBC soon, right? And I know Reggie Miller just signed a deal with NBC. It's going to Amazon as well. So it's a different world that we're living in when it comes to what we're used to with our broadcast sports.
All right, what's coming up tonight?
Yeah, obviously we're going to do a lot on the Jaguars. We're a week outside of free agency when we return here on Monday. So we're going to kind of do a blueprint. Mike Giannetti, one of the co-founders of Spot Track, we're going to play that interview, and he's going to kind of give you a blueprint on free agency, the salary cap, where Jacksonville is, Andre Sisco, Brandon Sheriff, the unrestricted free agents, kind of a deep dive into that. And also this college football playoff expansion, I want to spend a little bit of time on that. We've been so caught up in the combine. I thought Matt Hayes last week had a really good article in the USA Today. Really good. College football fans, it's a different world beginning in 2026. And we're going to have Matt on to talk about that article.
All right, sounds good. Have a great weekend as well.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it. Dylan, you have a great weekend. That's Dylan Denmark. Thank you to John Shipley for joining us tonight. And that's going to do it until Monday. We'll be back. It'll be March. Wow. Folks, have a great weekend. Make sure you're safe. If you're drinking, all the power to you, but call an Uber. Have a designated driver. Don't get hurt out there. There's way too many people getting injured. Have an outstanding weekend. We'll do it again Monday at 6 o'clock right here on your home of the Jags.